Hey, Shalom, Israel. First off, I would like to say, Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Also would like to say peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the Akim, that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith throughout the four corners of the earth. For the few sisters that watch and believe, Shalom to you as well. And just with another quick lesson, I was just meditating on how I know here in the Great Millstone Dallas camp, I just feel just so grateful just to have a body of brothers that I feel I have the ability to grow in the faith with, Lord willing, if we continue on doing our prospective role and lots to the best of our ability. But I know that it's all through the Spirit. That's why I can't take credit for anything that I'm doing, or other brothers probably feel the same way. We can't take credit for what the Lord is doing ultimately through the Spirit, bringing brothers on levels individually. So collectively as a body, we can grow into the sanctuary of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You know, the tabernacle, the spiritual tabernacle of David being built back, but you just can't have any pieces. I know lately my spirit's just been really going on the emphasis of the elect. As always, the elders of Great Millstone have always placed emphasis on it all really hinging upon an election of the nation of Israel. But pretty much the Lord has to put all the proper pieces together. You just can't fit any type of piece into the Lord's puzzle picture. You know, everybody that's meant to enduring this thing, all the pieces just gonna fit, man. You know, as brothers go through their trial of faith and just through their experience, I know me myself, I'm starting to see that more and more. You know. And it ain't up to us. For brothers individually, you're just supposed to just max out on whatever the Lord has put in your hands to be able to do, you know, and go from there. But without, just talking too much, I'm going to go ahead and just read the scriptures. I'm in the book of Ephesians chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, "Now, therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High." So, of course, through the prophecy of the curses of the nation of Israel, we were scattered amongst the different nations. During the time that the Greeks came in power, we were Hellenized. On to today, we were stripped of our heritage and our legacy as being Israelites and basically going into the way of the heathen. But all through the spirit of the word, through the spirit of that prophecy in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, where it talks about the dry bones being waken up, we're putting on our true heritage and our true nationality and our true standard of living, as the Holy Bible prescribes that the nation of Israel should do. And and among the world that's controlled by Satan at this appointed time, we're building up the household of faith. And the fellow citizens, it says, but fellow citizens with the saints. And we know that the saints are the Israelites, and we're fellow citizens with the other brothers, the prospective brothers among the body. Just all the different brothers are fellow citizens, and we're all of the household of the Most High. We all have that common purpose in mind. All brothers come from different walks of life. Like I was saying, we were scattered. Before we came into this truth, brothers was, into all walks of life, into all different types of philosophies and things. But now we've been reunited through the common denominator of Yahweh Shah, under the same household of the Most High and Yahweh Shah. But everybody has a different role, a different piece there. Everybody's a different piece, so to speak, to the overall puzzle of the Most High, for his will to be fulfilled, to rebuild a spiritual temple of David. And I guess my exhortation is for brothers, especially younger brothers, man, don't really get too set on looking at another man's table, pocket watching, so to speak, and looking in too hard into what another man has going on, because that's only going to take away from your growth and your ability to thrive as a man of the Lord in whatever perspective role that the Lord has given you. Now, that's not to say you're not going to draw inspiration and you're not going to grow affinity to certain brothers in this thing, and you're not going to come up under even some brothers' wings to learn things that you can apply for your own walk. That's not the point I'm making, but you have to be your own man at the end of the day and recognize what you bring to the table, and through the spirit of the Lord, to your best of your ability, you try to strive for the mastery of that. just in the overall context of the household of the Most High in that building process. You want to always maximize your lane, know your lane and maximize your lane. That's really the point being made. Because even Peter, the head disciple, I forgot what scripture, I'm not going to get it, but he was concerned about John the Revelator's relationship with Yahweh Shai. And it shows through the scripture that Yahweh Shai, he had a little bit more leniency and favoritism towards John the Revelator for whatever reason. He sent up under his bosom. And Peter, he didn't really take too kindly to that relationship. And the Lord told him, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. He kept telling Peter that, he basically told Peter if he wanted John to live for whatever, to live forever, what does that have to do with you? So that's the mindset we all have to take, is really working out our own salvation and doing the best that we can with what the Most High gave us. But in the overall context of things, is for the overall collective building of the household of the Most High. Verse 20, it says, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. So that's where we're built upon the foundation of the apostles, the ones that taught us contemporary, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who woke us up to this word. But that same spirit was in the ancient prophets that were written of and spake in times past as well. And all through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, him being the chief cornerstone, he's the common denominator as to our belief and our doctrine. But within that, each individual man, he's going to bring a different level to the overall equation, to the overall improving of the building. I'm gonna keep going. Verse 21, it says, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. So it says the building fitly framed together groweth unto a holy temple in the Lord. So that's another point I really want to get. All the pieces that are within the overall body of the Lord's house, they have to fit together. Whatever doesn't fit, the Lord is going to remove out of the building process of the house. So us as builders, we hope to be builders that remain until the completion of the house. We got to pray that the Lord, that we're fitly framed, that we're those perfect pieces, henceforth the elect, those selective pieces that are going to be chose in the overall building process of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's house. Verse 22, it says, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. So we're spiritually building right now. We're building the spiritual temple of the Lord. And every brother brings something different to that overall building process. But it's up to us through the Spirit. Pray, fast, do whatever you got to do to recognize what you bring to the overall building and master that. That's the points being made, and also the pieces all within the Lord's overall building. They have to be the right pieces. The Lord is not going to deal with a piece that's not meant to be a part of the building. It's gonna be cast out. But I want to get something else, and that's not to say, because everyone is gonna have to run their own race, and brothers may have a different approach to how they run the race, but we run in the same race through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's the common denominator that links us together. We're going the same course, but we may have just a different process of going about the course, if that makes sense. But that's up to you through the Spirit to figure that out. This is I'm gonna start it. This is 1 Corinthians 12:4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And we know that faith is a gift pursuant to Ephesians, the 2nd chapter. Faith is a gift that was only given to the elect. But within the gift of faith, there's diversities of that gift. But the same Spirit, that same common Spirit, is the Spirit of Yahweh Shai through this word, through the spirit of prophecy. It says, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. So brothers going to have different offices and different tasks that are going to be put before them in the overall building of the temple. And we all have to recognize what we are greatest at accomplishing, and just give our best in servitude to the perfecting of the will of the Lord. I'm going to go to verse 6. It says, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all. So there's diversities of operations. You can't really worry about the next brother in the faith too much. Maybe how the leadership may deal with him versus how the leadership may deal with you when it comes to instances where correction and reproof and rebuke is going to have to be laid out. You got to just look at your spirit and pray that the Lord just guides you according to your spirit and what you bring to the table, because that same spirit worketh in all of us, man. You know, we all serve a purpose, no matter how marginal it may seem in the sight of men. You got to understand that if you really a part of this thing, no matter how small your operation may seem to the sight of men, in the overall perfecting of the building of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you got a great role. You got a noble position within the occupation of the Most High, you know? Yeah, I want to read verse 7, 1 Corinthians 12:7. It says, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. So the manifestation of that same Spirit of Yahushua through the understanding of the true doctrine of this word, of this truth, ultimately is given to all of us, no matter how diverse our operations and our gifts are. Every man should have the Spirit to profit. It says to every man to profit, to flip whatever talent you've been given. You got to bring back profit. You can't really look too much into what another man got going, pocket watching. You gotta get out there and get your own profit in this thing, man. And that's not to say you're not going to use the body of men that you have to help you in your perspective lane, but you got to figure out your lane. You know, the Lord, the tabernacle of the Lord is with men. So the Lord is raising up a body of men, leaders, you know. So hopefully this made sense. You know what I wanted to say. All the pieces of the Lord's building, they have to be fitly and they have to perfectly go together. That's why the Lord is not dealing with what doesn't work in the overall building of the temple of the body. Is going to be removed, and only pieces that fitly framed that work in the same spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, that those are going to be the pieces that are going to endure together until Yahushua comes to redeem those men. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, you know. So Lord willing, brothers are a part of that number. With all being said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect.